Now I'm just out and about on the GS. Now when I say on the GS, I haven't got another bike. This is my only bike. I don't need another bike. This is the best bike in the world, in my humblage of opinions. Now, I thought I'd shoot a video for you today because regular viewers of the channel, hello sheepy, regular viewers, alright mate, where you going? Will, excuse me while I was disturbed by the sheepage crossing the roadage. Regular viewers of the channel will be starting to think that I've got a slight obsession with going off-road, and you would be right, because I loved it. It's challenging, it offers a massive thrill, and I get a massive buzz because of how challenging it is on this 1250GS Rally. Now, a lot of people would say, well, why don't you get a proper off-road bike? And to that I say no, because where would the challenge be? Where would the fun be? Where would the scaring the crap out of myself be? So no, I'm not going to get a, hold on, proper off-road bike, because I've got this and I loves it. But to make it a little bit more betterer for off-roading, or really what I mean is to make it a little bit more crash proof, I have made some subtle modifications to the bike that you may have seen in previous videos, or you would have seen in videos previous if you've been watching my channel. Now, excuse me while I just clear the throat. The eagle-eyed amongst you may already know some of those modifications just from the view from the cockpit, but I'm not going to say what they are out loud until I find somewhere nice to park, and then we can get off the bike and do a little walk around and show you what I've spent all my hard-earned money on to make this bike a little bit more rally-y, because BMW, in their German fineness, have decided to, well, they put an E on the end of rally to make it more rally-y. So I've taken the GS 1250 Rally-y and made it more rallier. Anyway, let's find somewhere to park and we'll have a little look around. Right, this looks as good a place as any to get off and have a look. Right, now it has been raining today, but the grass looks a lot drier than I thought it would be. Anyway, hopefully the bike doesn't sink on the centre stand. Right guys, I'm going to get the helmet off and start talking waffle. Hi guys, so before we start talking about the bike or going into detail about the bike, let's just take in our surroundings. So we are in the middle of Dartmoor, or on the edge of Dartmoor. We're in Dartmoor, okay, and it is absolutely just beautiful up here. There are some Dartmoor ponies strolling around and grazing up there. I don't know if you can hear the sheep screaming, maring, sheeping, whatever sheep do, barring, that's what sheep do. And it's just nature. You can hear the birds cheeping and stuff. But let's talk about the GS Rally, my R1250 GS Rally, okay, and what I have done with it. So the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that I've been using these double take mirrors since the get-go with the bike. Since I picked it up, I changed those mirrors straight away, because these just, you unscrew those and you can tuck the mirror in so it's out of the way and it's not sticking up. I also find that with the standard BMW mirrors, all you see is your elbows and they vibrate quite a lot, whereas the double take mirrors, no vibration. I've got them on ram mount, which makes them higher, which means I can see more behind me, which is always good. Okay, moving on from the mirrors, sorry if that made you a little bit dizzy, straight away to the front we have got the short rally screen. Now obviously I'm not going to get as much wind protection, but it's going to do two things. It's going to open up the view for you guys, so you're not getting that screen in the way when I'm making videos, and it also means that when I'm off-roading I haven't got this big massive screen vibrating and getting in the way, with the high potential of me headbutting it if things go wrong. And it does look cooler, okay, in my opinion. Moving on, we have got some Bark Busters handguards. Now the standard BMW ones haven't got any metal backbone, so they're just plastic shaped to offer wind protection or rain protection, but they ain't going to protect you or the guards in a heavy fall. So we've got the Bark Buster so we can bust some bark rather than bust up the levers or my hands. They look rather fetching, I do think, in the white, because it goes with the rest of the colour scheme. Moving along, we have got these Outback Motorwreck crash bars. They are the business. Now, they've obviously got mounts front and rear of the engine, and they've got this massive bit of protection protecting these massive cylinder heads from sticking out and getting damaged. The other ones that I had on, the Heed ones, were okay, but I just felt like when I go proper gnarly off-road, which will happen I'm sure at some point when I get lost down some green lane, these are going to stand a better job of protecting the engine and do what I need it to do than the other ones. With the Outback, I've also got the belly pans of all belly pans. It goes from the front all the way, and you see that, and protects the cat from getting dirty and scratched. So basically it's more protective than the standard BMW one. While we're here, let's not forget the Touratech gear change lever, okay? It is folding, so it will fold in the event of a fall. And I've also moved the positioning of it because the standard BMW one is like really low. So I've moved it further up so I can actually change up and down gear a lot easier while I'm stood up. Moving along, we have got some infill panels. That just takes away the gap there. Two reasons for them there. Aesthetics, that's a good word. It just makes the bike look a little bit tidier, and the amount of spray that you get off the back tyre up through these gaps all over the seat and on your back, your legs and your butt, it just will help eliminate that. And while we're here, we might as well notice that the pillion pegs have gone walkies. I don't generally take pillions on the bike, but what I was finding when I'm like getting through ruts, so I was catching my legs on the pegs, and so I thought I'd get rid of them. Moving on to this side of the bike, I still excuse the eyesore of a exhaust end can. I will be getting an aftermarket jobby at some point. I won't be paying Aquapovic prices. I just want a smaller, neater, lighter can so I can get that out of the way, so when I do inevitably throw it down some gravel track, there's not as much metal to break and destroy. One thing that I have ordered that hasn't turned up at time of making this video is a fold-in motocross style rear brake. So it will fold at this, it will have a hinge and it will fold. So again, if I was to, when I drop the bike down some gravel track, it will happen through from past experience. The bike will be more protected, but all those modifications not only serve a purpose. I do think, and I'm moving you around a lot, I hope you don't feel dizzy and sick, I do feel the bike looks a little bit more rally-ish, a little bit more purposeful, a little bit more, it's manned up a little bit. Can you say that nowadays? It's personed up a little bit, toughened up, butched up. Can you say that? But I have. Anyway, so there are the modifications that I've made to the bike. Spent £1 or £2 doing it, but I do think the bike stands more of a chance of surviving the inevitable fall when I'm off-roading. So we have an audience, sheep's in the distance, checking out what we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to vacate the area, and yeah, I'm going to head out and just go for a little spin. So I will leave you with maybe some drone footage. Right guys, so those are the modifications to the GS. The aim is to offer me some better protection for the bike from the inevitable drop that will happen at some point when I'm off-roading. Now the aim isn't to be reckless. I don't want to be reckless. I'm not gonna get reckless, but if I can prevent as much damage to the bike as possible, then it just makes good sense in my brain. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head off home, get some food, and yeah, just have a chilled out evening. Might even have a beer. How crazy is that? Might even have a beer. So let me know what you think in the comments below of the modifications. If you like anything I've done, if you don't like anything I've done. I particularly like the crash bars. They are pretty awesome looking. I like the screen. Obviously I'm going to get battered. The wind noise might be increased for me, and it might be increased a little bit for you, and I'll work on a fix for that. Hello sheep. A bit raggedy that sheep, isn't it? I wonder what's down that road. Yeah, the wind noise might be greater, but the bike looks cooler, I reckon. The double take mirrors, they're brilliant. I know a few other YouTubers. Hippo Drones has some on his Aprilia tow rag, as he affectionately calls it, or fondly calls it. He does like his tow rag. Bark busters, obviously, they just make good sense. And getting rid of the pillion pegs saved me a whole kilo in weight. Although I did add it back in with the hulking crash bars and that belly pan. So anyway guys, if you got anything from this video, give me a big thumbs up if you liked it. If not, then sorry to disappoint you. I'll do better next time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, why don't you consider subscribing and watch some of the shenanigans I get up to on my beloved GS. I love this bike. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out, bye. Double take mirrors are on a ram mount, and they can be folded in so that if you go off-roading, you can just tuck them out the way and they're not going to be getting snagged up on bushes, etc, etc. And it took me forever to get them perfectly mounted for riding, and now I've just ruined everything.